We have now learned that Donald Trump had the opportunity to go after Al-Qaeda terrorist Ayman al-Zawahiri when he was president. Joe Biden recently making the decision to strike al-Zawahiri, killing him. But Donald Trump chose not to do it because he didn't recognize the name. These are now the widespread reports. Business Insider. Trump had the chance to kill Al-Qaeda's leader, but didn't because he didn't recognize the name. The Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed by a U.S. drone strike, Biden announced Monday. Then President Trump had the option to kill al-Zawahiri, but chose not to, NBC reported in 2020. Trump wanted to kill Osama bin Laden's son instead because it was the only name he knew. Can you imagine? Intelligence officials briefed Trump many times about senior terrorist figures that the CIA wanted to track down and kill, mentioning al-Zawahiri. Two people familiar with the briefings told NBC that Trump chose not to pursue al-Zawahiri because he didn't recognize his name. He instead said, let's go after Hamza bin Laden. He would say, I've never heard of any of these people. What about Hamza bin Laden? A Pentagon official told the news outlet that was the only name he knew. The Department of Defense and a spokesperson for Trump did not immediately respond to insiders' request for comment. Even though bin Laden's son was widely seen as an emerging figure in the terrorist group, he was not believed to be planning any attacks at the time. The president's preference for a celebrity targeted killing. Not surprising. And listen, bottom line, Trump didn't perceive that there was anything in it for him. And Trump probably rightly assessed, I think this is almost certainly true. If Trump doesn't recognize the name, he assumes a lot of his followers don't either. That's probably accurate, but also understand that Trump could make a big deal out of whatever. You know, he can come out and say, you know who we got? We got Ayman al-Zawahiri. We got him. And this guy was a big deal. Bad guy. I sometimes would call him Abdul, as he often says during his speeches. And his followers would have said, look, he got JP al-Zawahiri or whatever the guy's name is. I think that probably would work. But to some degree, there's this what's in it for me, and killing someone whose name is bin Laden is probably better. This also, by the way, supports the reasoning for Trump authorizing the drone strike on the Iranian general. Better headlines. It might incite Iran. Maybe it makes his Saudi friends happy. You know, who knows? And sometimes you have to understand the two filters. One is there something in it for me? Which Trump asks. The second part then is Trump might not recognize that there's something in it for him. And so if we think back to COVID, if Trump had simply said masks are patriotic, we're printing 5 million exclusive MAGA masks only to be made available to my best and biggest subscribers. And then we're just going to follow what doctors say. He would have made big money. We know he makes big money off of the MAGA hats. He would have gotten reelected. I mean, it really is that simple. And maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow with political scientist Rachel Bidikofer as well. And by the way, he might have saved 100,000 or 150,000 or even more lives in so doing. But Trump doesn't always recognize when there's something in it for him. Something in your home that you use every day contributes to deforestation and climate change, and that's toilet paper. In the U.S. alone, over 30 million trees each year are required to meet toilet paper demands, contributing to deforestation, soil erosion, devastating loss of biodiversity. Our sponsor, Real Paper, makes sustainable toilet paper that is 100% made from bamboo. A bamboo stock keeps growing. It can be harvested forever. It means that the soil and the ecosystem aren't disrupted. No carbon removing trees are cut down. The paper industry has a massive effect on deforestation and climate change, but you alone using bamboo toilet paper can make a positive impact, because for the toilet paper that just one American uses in their lifetime, hundreds of trees are required. Put an end to that right now with Real Paper. The best part is the stuff is really great. It's just normal soft toilet paper. Real Paper loves the David Pakman Show. They're giving my audience 30% off your first order and free shipping when you go to realpaper.com/Pakman and use the code Pakman at checkout.
The link is down below.